contest over the topic, the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project will bring more benefits than problems. Who will rise to the semi-finals? Who will fall? There's only one way to find out. Listen live to all Nigeria Info and Kids FM stations nationwide. You can also watch on Facebook and on YouTube at Nigeria Info FM. The I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools Debate Tournament, the Nationals, is proudly supported by Janla Foods, Obi-Weezy, Chrisland Schools, Massey Children's Hospital, Diamonds and Pearls Travels Limited, and the Nigerian Conservation Foundation. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
Last, it's finally time. I know that was tautological, but okay. At long last, it's finally time for this debate to commence. Tonight, we set sail on one of Nigeria's boldest and most ambitious dreams, the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project, a 700-kilometer stretch of vision and controversy designed to stitch together the nation's commercial capital with its oil-rich coastal belt, linking economies, communities, and futures. But like every great undertaking, this project raises burning questions. Will it truly be the golden artery of commerce, tourism, and connectivity, opening new frontiers of prosperity and growth? Or will it unravel into a maze of displacement, environmental peril, and financial burden too heavy to bear? Our debaters now step into the quarterfinals, where the stakes rise higher, the questions cut deeper, and only the sharpest mind will chart a path through these turbulent waters. On the motion, the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project will bring more benefits than problems. So let's begin this clash of ideas. First, let's introduce these students. But even before that, special thanks to all our sponsors: Obi-Weezy, Janla Foods, Diamonds and Pearls Travels, Chrisland Schools, Massey Children's Hospital, and of course the Lekki Conservation Center for partnering with us. We appreciate everything you've done. You'll be hearing from our partners and supporters in just a bit. A quick reminder as to our judges, Maryann.
Yes, we'd like to welcome our Chief Judge, Dr. Chike Mbeadiche. I hope I pronounced it very well. Doctor, forgive me. Would also like to thank Sir Dr. Ikechi Wogu. He is our Port Harcourt Chief Judge. Would also like to thank Judge Majid Dairu, who is also our Abuja Judge. And my friend and troublemaker, Ufoma Igbamuno, who is our news head. Would also like to welcome Yvonne Ohai for Principal Von. She is our diction judge, also doubles as a judge.
And resident headmistress.
Yes, yes. She even schools us in her mind. Yes, she said it on air today.
Yeah, what?
That sometimes when we slip, She judges us in her mind. we,
Yeah.
you and I.
No, we all do. Sometimes when the owners of the language slip, we catch them slipping.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody slips.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Yes, even Yvonne slips.
Yes, she does.
In all her
glory.
In all her high
mightiness.
High horse.
Sorry, man. Principal Von.
I was happy when they were dragging her on social media the other day. Let's get to the debate. Somebody said, I English you good job. All right. But again, we're reminded that these are students. They are in their learning phase. The day will come when it probably would not matter what English they speak. They will probably command millions, billions, and all of that. Yes.
Olajolo said, God, I beg you.
Yeah.
Goodness.
But this is a critical stage in their lives where the lessons can serve them a lifetime.
Yes,
and if you have the privilege and the opportunity to be a teacher in the lives of these young ones, do not play with that opportunity. It's a huge responsibility because sometimes just a few new words can be a game changer in a child's life.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's meet our contestants. We welcome back to our studio for this first quarterfinal battle, which should have been the second. A very strong contender, champion of the first regional finals for this season, from Wellspring College, Lagos. He's going to SS2 now, right? And he's still 14. Still 14. Lagos. Welcome, Akinloluwa, Olajolo. How are you doing, Akinloluwa?
I'm very well.
Good to have you in the studio with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome. His opponent is a recent high school graduate. She's finally 17 and she wants everybody to know no more 16. Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Nigeria, the rest of the world. Please welcome Esther Joseph. Welcome, Esther. Are you both ready for this debate? Good. You do understand there are no wild cards anymore, no second chances. It's everything you do here that determines whether you progress to the semifinals or not. Let's find out who is supporting the motion and who is defending the motion.
I'll be supporting the motion.
You are supporting the motion. Esther, you are opposing the motion. So Nigeria, the road narrows here. The tension rises and the quarterfinals begin. Tonight, Akinloluwa and Esther confront not just each other, but the weight of a nation's dream carved in concrete and coastline, the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project. This is no ordinary road. It is promised as a ribbon of progress, binding Lagos to Calabar, opening ports, fueling tourism, and powering trade. A highway of hope. Yet, in its shadow lurk the storm clouds of controversy, fears of displacement, environmental scars, and a financial burden that may haunt generations. And so we ask, will this colossal project bring more benefits than problems? Or will its problems overwhelm its promise? 8 contenders remain in this tournament, but in this very battle, only one voice will command the quarterfinal stage, and only one vision will prevail. Will it be Akinloluwa's or Esther's? Let this debate begin, Maryann.
All right, lady and gentlemen, you have 4 minutes each as usual. Do we give them a second to breathe, Femi? And then we go into it?
They've taken in enough breath.
Okay. All right, so...
Or do you need it?
Are you ready?
You're ready. Let's go.
Lovely. All right, we're going to start with you, Akinloluwa. You have 4 minutes and your time starts now.
Benefits in infrastructure economy is not an immediate thing. It is a cost. It is the cost. Benefits in infrastructure economy is not at the immediate. The coastal way is long-term, short-term, and it has its benefits. Firstly, national connectiveness and GDP uplift. The coastal way connects 9 states, 5 ports, and 2 free trade zones, and it's already succeeding as it connects the Victoria Island to the Lekki Deep Sea Port and the Dangote Lekki Industrial Belt, which allows us to connect our south and the east. And as Lagos carries 1/3 of the GDP, this turns today's bottlenecks into tomorrow's same-day delivery corridor for agriculture, for agriculture and manufacturing. Next, freight cost and competitiveness. Nigeria ports rank 358 out of 370 according to a World Bank study. Our dwells are in weeks and our logistics is 53% of the estimated shipping cost, meaning that we are the highest as Africa, directing our funds to Accra. When we have a separate coastal spine, we allow our economy to thrive, and we have export competitiveness. Also, industrialization along the spine. This 700-kilometer corridor will bring utilities, technological advancements, logistics hubs, and truck laybys. And similar coastal bridges like the Kenya-Nairobi-Mombasa Expressway allows us to see that there is a location hubs and truck laybys allow us to reduce freight turnarounds by 40%, bringing down logistic costs. Also, urban decongestion by design. A coastal alternative allows us to free up traffic on already existing urban roads that cost Lagos 4 trillion naira annually. And with this, we can separate long truck hauls and local traffic, protecting our dense neighborhoods and ensuring that peak hour stagnation is work. Today, when coming to the studio, I was in traffic and I was afraid I was not going to meet today. Guess what? The same expressway that everybody condemned a few years ago is what saved me today. Also, work now and skills later. It's a 10-lane bridge. It's a 10-lane coastal public-private construction partnership, which allows us to create thousands of jobs in construction and off-site jobs that will turn into maintenance jobs in the long run. And we face capacity, which is 47 kilometers now, and then eastward, we allow ourselves to have thousands of jobs over the years and allow us as Nigerians to keep our skill in Nigeria instead of importing so-called coastal experts. Next, phased financing. Phase 1 was financed during engineering, procurement, and construction building, engineering, procurement, and production dues. Other phases can be done with federal capex tolling and federal capex tolling securitization and federal capex tolling industrialization. And this allows us to split our phasing and instruments to a point that we do not break down the sovereign balance sheet. Also, FX release. Every day of delay and diversion into subsequent places, into subsequent borders allows our foreign exchange to suffer, losing $7 billion annually. When we free up spaces in Lekki and One, we create an FX generating ecosystem that allows Nigerians to thrive in a global economy. Also, government guardrails. We do understand the advent of things that can happen without accountability, but this system allows us to bring in government guardrails and in an ombudsman that will control the authority and work schedules, and a 30 to 40% contract that will retain skill boosting in Nigeria. And then the $772 billion funds that will be borrowing from the Juche Bank will be structured and no funds will be distributed without proper documentation. Also, security and state participation. Large scale industries allow us to get more cameras, police bases at intervals, NMPR places, which allows us to protect our shadow economy that is always broken by coastal economies. Then tourism and services. With the Ibejuleki beaches, Ebano and Calabar beaches all do not have access and infrastructure. But with this coastal way, we increase tourist spending by a global 50% because of this. Also, comparative advantage. The Kenya-Nairobi Expressway allows them to increase their logistic rate. If Nigeria commissions this, when this bridge completes, we get 700 kilometers of vast land that allows us to complete our comparative advantages in the global economy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And he deserves all the applause he can get. Well done, Akinloluwa Olajolo of Wellspring College. Well done. Nerves showing, but in this stage of the competition, it is not unexpected.
Absolutely. You can tell that, everyone's just on tiptoes, I beg your pardon.
Everybody's tense.
Yes. It's now your turn.
No more lifelines.
At all.
Yeah.
It's now your turn. Esther, are you ready? Your 4 minutes starts now.
They call it a highway, but it's really a fast lane to death, displacement, and disaster. I'm Mr. Joseph, and I'm opposing the motion with the following points. To begin with, cost overrun. The project cost is so massive that it's almost certain to spiral out of control. According to a 2024 report by Budget, 50 trillion naira estimate is unrealistic and inflation prone. The Abuja-Lokoja road ballooned from 42 billion naira to 120 billion naira, yet the project remains unfinished. This is according to Daily Trust, May 2019. Next, opportunity cost. Spending trillions on a road means starving schools, hospitals, and power supply. According to World Bank 2022, infrastructure gap requires priority choices. Next, accountability gaps. Without transparent bidding, this project risks corruption and huge mismanagement. According to Infrastructure Transparency Initiative 2023, no open tendering raised corruption risk. Lagos-Calabar Lagos-Ibadan Expressway (PPP) collapsed under similar secrecy. This is according to Premium Times, July 2017. Next, social displacement. Tens of thousands are losing their homes and livelihoods. According to Amnesty International 2024, forced eviction have already begun. Next, tourism decline. Fishing hubs and beaches face destruction from sand filling. According to the Nigerian Institute of Oceanography 2023, dredging threatens artisanal fishing. Over 200,000 coastal fishermen from Akwa Ibom and Cross River stand to lose their work. This is according to Punch newspaper, June 2023. Next, alternative transport neglect. Rail is far more sustainable for long-term movements than highways. According to AFDB 2022, rail system cut cost and emissions long term. Next, land and environmental degradation. The coastline is eroding fast, threatening the highway's survival. According to UNEP 2021, Nigeria coastline loses 2 meters of land annually. Even the bar beach vanished within 20 years. This is a warning sign. Next, rising debt burden. Funding this highway means drowning Nigeria further into debt. According to DMO 2023, Nigeria's debt is 87 trillion naira. 73% of revenue gets to servicing. This is according to World Bank 2023. Next, inequality deepens. The rich benefits while the ordinary Nigerians are displaced. According to SERAP 2024, this project favors only the elite developers. According to Lekki Free Trade Zone, this project, according to Lekki Free Trade Zone, the locals are displaced. Why the real estate agents tycoons are benefiting. This is according to Daily Trust September. This is according to Daily Trust November 2019. Next, security threats. The long stretch of highways will make it impossible to be protected. According to SBM intelligence, large projects attract kidnappers and bandits. Next, kickbacks and corruption. Next, kickbacks and corruption magnets. This just as it has happened numerous times in this country, mega projects like these are notorious sources of embezzlement. According to Transparency International 2023, high value contracts like these are often become cash cows for elites. Nigeria's $16 billion power project scandal ended with nothing delivered. This is according to CCTV News, May 2018. Next, sustainability risk. The coastal flooding undermines project durability. According to IPCC African report, Nigeria coastline is among the West Africa's most flood prone. Next, political timing. This project looks more like a political legacy plan than a genuine solution. According to CDD 2023, mega projects like these often coincide with election cycles. The Ajaokuta Steel was launched in 1979 under political symbolism, still incomplete to date. Next, regional imbalance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Esther Joseph. So the first round is over between Akinloluwa, Olajolo, and Esther Joseph. What more could these two yet muster? We'll find out when we come off the next break. More or less, that's our very first official break for this contest.
Yes, and don't forget, we're live on Facebook and on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Refresh your feed if you cannot find us. We're also on WhatsApp. Send those messages in. You're listening to us live on all our Kids FM stations across the country in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt. Also on Nigeria Info, Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. Be part of the conversation. We'll be right back.
Obiwizi, Nigeria's trusted name in affordable tech and gadget tradings. From Lagos to Abuja, from students to CEOs, Obiwizi is your guy for quality tech devices, brand new and pre-owned, UK used. Got a phone or laptop? Bring it in and walk out with an upgrade, a cashback, or both. Whether you shop in-store or online at obiwizi.com. That is obiwizi.com. You are guaranteed value, warranty, and a customer-first experience. Obiwizi offers affordable tech, trusted service. Because with gadgets, Obiwizi is your guy. Follow on socials, on Instagram at Obiwizi Backup Page, on TikTok at Obiwizi. Happy shopping!
If you are hungry for Nigerian flavor, step into Janla Foods, where every bite tastes like home. From fresh sizzling seafood to hearty soup, from smoky jollof rice to mouth-watering swallow and sides, we serve it fresh, we serve it local, and we serve it delicious. We are cooking for you every day at number 45B Suez Crescent, Abacha Estate, Wuse Zone 4 in Abuja, and at number 37 Body Thomas Street, opposite Access Bank in Lagos, and of course at number 40 Fola Oshibo Road, Lekki Phase 1. Follow the taste on Instagram at ejanla.ng. That is at ejanla.ng. Ejanla Foods, your taste buds will thank you.
At Chrisland Schools, here are some of our recent achievements in sports. Chrisland lifted the icing on the 17 soccer trophies in 2023 and 2024 consecutively. Chrisland female soccer team also won the icing on the 14 and under 12 soccer competition in 2024. Chrisland football team defeated other schools to lift the soccer fiesta trophy 4 times.
You'll find Chrisland School in Katampe, Abuja at number 5 Samuel Oladele Crescent by Gishiri bus stop opposite Nikon Junction, Katampe District, FCT, Abuja. That's the number to call, 002-319-9882 or 003-648-5770 or 0703-135-5323.
Welcome back. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. This is the national finals of I Beg to Differ Student Debate Tournament. It's the Tournament of Champions. And here on the hot seat tonight, the first of 8 quarterfinalists, Olajolo, Akinloluwa, and Esther Joseph.
It's time for these youngsters to switch places. Now, Esther will start this rebuttal segment. Are you ready, Esther? You still have 4 minutes. And your 4 minutes starts now.
All protocols duly observed. I remain Esther Joseph. I'm here to refute my opponent's point. Firstly, my opponent made mention of tourism, but I'll have you know that these fishing hubs and beaches are destroyed due to sand filling. According to the Nigeria Institute of Oceanography 2023, dredging threatens artisanal fishing. Over 200,000 coastal fishermen from Akwa Ibom and Cross River tend to lose their work. So how does this tourism benefit the coastal region? Next, my opponents talked about security trade. The long stretch of highways makes it impossible to be protected. According to the SBM Intelligence 2023, large projects attract bandits and kidnappers. Next, my opponents made mention of foreign exchange. Business thrives when basic things like rail and ports are developed than a road already threatened by flood and erosion. Next, my opponents made mention of industrialization, logistics. Rail is far more sustainable. You made mention of industrialization, logistics. Rail is far more sustainable for long distance movement than highways. According to the AFDB 2022, rail system cuts costs and emissions long term. Next, my opponent talks about financing, that these projects will increase the revenue. Well, how do you know that most times these governments, when they call it when they endorse a project like this, they know that this project will not be fulfilled. They are only using it to loot funds. They're only using it to loot funds. So whereby we are not even certain that this project will be completed. So how will it raise revenue for the government when we don't know whether when we don't know if the project will be completed? Next, my opponents made mention of accountability. Without transparency bidding, this project risks corruption and huge mismanagement. According to the Infrastructure Transparency Initiative 2023, mega projects like these often coincide with election cycles. Next, my opponents said free up traffic. Nigerian main traffic is intracity, not interstate. So we must first fix the traffic within the cities before speaking of big projects. Next, my opponent talked about competitiveness. Who are we competing against? These people that we are looking up to. First of all, what they did was to take care of the basic things like power supply, good leadership, stable economy before jumping into secondary projects. So if we do not take care of the basic things first, the secondary project will surely fail. Next, my opponent talks about national connectiveness, that it will connect interstates together. When these projects are not fulfilled, how can it connect people? Because in the process of doing these projects, the funds meant for this project are stolen. So when it's not completed, how will it connect? When it's not completed, how will it connect people? Most of this time, these people that you expect to be connected, they are displaced because places that they once live are filled with sand to be able to do these projects. Next, my opponent talks about provision of jobs that expires after 2 years is only temporary illusions. These are not jobs. What we need to create jobs are long-term industries, not short-term highways. Yes, I've rebutted my opponent's point. I've rebutted my opponent's point. So I'll add. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Esther Joseph. Rebuttal points. Part 1. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project will bring more benefits than problems. You play. Your opponent. Oh, by the way, yes. Oh, you oppose. Your opponent claims that it will indeed bring more benefits than problems. That's Akinloluwa Olajolo of Wellspring College. Akinloluwa.
Are you ready? Your 4 minutes starts now.
All protocols duly observed. Like I said in my opening, benefits in infrastructural economy is not immediate. It is long-term, short-term, and structural. So now I'm going to do some things for you. I'm going to show you what mutually exclusiveness means, what finance in this project means, and the playbook of strategy. All my opponents' points lingered around the same thing: finance, corruption, accountability, and displacement. And I will be doing rebuttals for you. In my first point, she mentioned about the 15 trillion naira the 15 trillion naira budget for this bridge. But do you understand that less than 10% of this 15 trillion naira has been reduced because they are doing it in phase sequencing? This just shows my opponent's lack of understanding of what is happening on today's bridge. They're doing it in phase sequencing, meaning they're starting 47 kilometers first. And if less than 10% of 15 trillion naira has been released for this bridge, that means there is accountability in their financing. Also, this is also not mutually exclusive to this bridge. Mutually exclusiveness means that only this bridge can provide these problems. When they commission anything in Nigeria, whether it's a hospital or a car park or even a bridge like this, everybody raises up the question of financing. Also, she spoke on opportunity costs, that there are better things we can use our money for. But is she forgetting that everything has a budget in our Nigerian economy? And if she wants to access the budget, she can easily go online and see how everything has been budgeted for. So hospitals have been budgeted for. Someone who since the beginning of his term has been building the biggest child hospital in Africa. Is it done? No, but it's budgeted for. Also, she spoke on accountability gaps that we're going to run into depth. But the depth for the borrowing that we did but when we borrowed from the Deutsche Bank in Germany, it was $747 million that we borrowed from them, and under a strict funding capacity, meaning the bridge is going to start funding itself at some point. Also, the bridge is going to pay back its own debt. So the Nigerian economy is not in indebtedness. The bridge is the one that is in indebtedness. The same way the Lekki toll gate before 2021, after the NSAS protest, was already funding its own debt. Also, she spoke on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The Lagos-Ibadan Expressway was not broken, was a failed project, not because of mutual exclusiveness or anything. It was a failed project because they fragmented their partitioning, meaning they divided the bridge into different parts, which spoiled the construction plan. Also, displacement. Now, the issue of displacement is simple. Back to the playbook I mentioned at the beginning, the playbook of strategies. That means there are already plans for displacement. A nation cannot just displace people without resettlement opportunities. And there's already resettlement conversations going on. And rights to return, meaning any business that has been currently displaced from those lines, immediately they are done with the project, after some time, they will be allowed to return to that same place or be given an alternate place to go to for their return. Also, she spoke movements along the sea, but because of the biodiversity laws against on this bridge, anywhere there is a biodiversity in the sea or in the forest, there is a diversion. We saw that already when they moved into a certain forest and they saw that there was a large sale of unique animals in the Sahara. What did they do? They are about to move the project into another line to take another direction in the bridge. Also, she spoke on a lot about rail system, but does she know that the rail system in Nigeria will cost significantly more? The Abuja to Kaduna railway was one of the biggest corrupt practices in Nigeria, and although we're seeing the benefit now, we saw how much money was laundered throughout the rail system, because to do rail system we need steel and importation from many countries, and we cannot risk importation at this moment. Then erosion was already there in all these places before the bridge started, and as the bridge is continuing on the matter of erosion, there's already engineering safeguards to end the erosion in those coastal lines. Also, she spoke on security threats. But if a 700-kilometer bridge has faced policemen and a special task force for that bridge, imagine the Nigerian government wants to make a special task force for that bridge. That means the security of that bridge has been taken into full consideration. Also, she spoke about sustainability risks. But roads are built for decades and not days. The Lekki Expressway has been built for decades, but we are still benefiting from it now. Even the Abuja to Kaduna railway was built a few years ago, and we are benefiting from it now. She spoke on political timing. Does that mean that every politician that decides that he wants to do a plan on roads to better the Nigerian economy should be called a political timer? Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant performance by both of these debaters. Thank you very much for what you have done in this second round, the rebuttal round. That was Olajolo Akinloluwa of Wellspring College. Before him, you heard Esther Joseph in her rebuttal round.
Yes.
There's only one round to go now.
Yes, and I think we should take a break.
Yes, most certainly.
When we return, the closing arguments will hold sway, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to drop your comments, and the polls are up on Twitter, X, YouTube, and on Facebook. Who do you think will win the quarterfinal today?
Hungry for that real Nigerian flavor? Step into Ejala Foods, where every bite tastes like home. From fresh sizzling seafood to hearty soups, from smoky jollof rice to mouth-watering swallow and sides, we serve it fresh, we serve it local, and we serve it delicious. We're cooking for you every day at 45B Suze Crescent, Abacha Estate, Wuse Zone 4, Abuja. 37 Bode Thomas Street, Surulere opposite Access Bank. Number 40 Fola Osibo Road, Lekki Phase 1. Follow the taste on Instagram at ejala.ng. Ejala Foods, your taste buds will thank you.
Welcome back, Nigeria. Into the final round of this debate battle we go. It features Akinloluwa Olajolo, 14-year-old SS2 student of Wellspring College, and the impressive Esther Joseph, who is a very recent graduate a high school graduate. Now, in this final round, it's 3 minutes. You already know. So listen to Anne as she cues you in.
All right, we're switching back to Olajolo. So this particular segment, you have 3 minutes each. Your 3 minutes, Olajolo, starts now.
Adjudicators. Every road tells a story, whether it preserves the past or it projects the future. By 2035, the Lagos-Calabar coastal corridor will be one of Nigerians daring to leap forward. Farmers reaching new markets, children getting jobs in thriving cities, and traders no longer being congested by our Nigerian ports. You see, the opposition invites us to think so narrowly, as if the value of infrastructure will be judged by today's bread and not the bakery of tomorrow. And roads are not made for 24 hours or days, they are made for decades. So when we judge along this horizon, the value of the verdict is simple: long-term national transformation, because we're weighing on decades and not days. We're weighing on livelihoods, economic resilience and national pride, not transient fears. So the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway will be one of tangible transformative outcomes. You see, on proportionality, it's a logistic artery carrying over 55% of Nigeria's GDP, generating over $10 billion annually by 2035. It was going to give us a connection of 9 coastal states, 5 ports, and 2 free trade zones. This is livelihoods uplifted, economic resilience, and thousands of livelihoods and jobs given. And for every flaw the opposition sort of mentioned, there is a call to action, whether it is debt, displacement, or ecological impact. All of these are transitional fears and not mere, and all of these are transitional fears and not permanent disqualifiers, because when we mitigate them, they are all dragged in and absorbed by benefits that are long-term, system-wide, and self-reinforcing. You see, on feasibility, Nigeria has delivered complex infrastructure before. We had the Lekki Expressway, the Abuja to Kaduna Railway, and we also have the second Niger Bridge. All of this done with discipline and more. So we face financing and current monitoring and engineering safeguards. This project is about to be a massive plan for Nigeria. And then the opposition may forget that on this same project, we have long-term benefit of this bridge. You see, this project, the question here is not whether Nigeria has failed in the past. It's whether we're using the lessons learned from the past with a structured finance and the urgency we need to succeed today. The answer is yes. And on net benefits, our only other alternative is paralysis, waiting and delaying. And we cannot wait because our regional peers are not allowing us to wait. We cannot wait because our borders are still congested. Our ports are still congested. This is the only system that offers a secure trade, secure lifelines, secure trade, secure lifelines, and national resilience. Adjudicators, the world remembers those who say wait as obstacles and those who say build as nation builders. I beg you to pick your parts, because this road or this coastal way is going to be one of progress and not paralysis, resilience and not decay, and future over fear. For proportionality, for feasibility, for net benefit, for our people, for our economy, for our future, we beg you to propose, because the moment we don't, we lay our hands down and surrender as an economic state. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then you're reminded he's only 14. What was it I said about debating? Maryann, I said I used to debate.
Yeah, you said.
Yeah. These debaters, they ask questions of what we thought we did back in the day.
It makes you really think that, for you who thought you were really smart, you now start, wondering if you really were smart.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there is more where that came from.
Yes.
Wait for the closing argument from Esther Joseph.
All right, Esther, you have 3 minutes and your time starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, they told us that the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Way will be a road to prosperity. But what good is a road that begins with broken homes, passes through displaced families, and ends in a death trap? What good is a project that looks beautiful on a paper, but bleeds a nation already gasping for breath? A highway is supposed to connect people, but in this one, it disconnects communities, it uproots livelihoods, and it divides Nigerians further into those who pay the price and those who profit. Supporters will say it creates jobs, but jobs that end after 2 years are only temporary illusions. They say it boosts tourism, but how do you? They say it boosts tourism, but how do you boost tourism by destroying the very coastlines and beaches tourists comes to see? They say it brings development, but what is it? They say it brings development, but what development is there in demolishing over 30 houses in Lagos alone, leaving families in the dust and rain? This is not development. This is displacement. This is not a highway. This is a high-risk gamble, and we must face the truth. Every promise tied to this project is wrapped in a heavier problem. Every kilometer of road for every kilometer of road, there is a kilometer of coastline eroding, and for every billion borrowed, there is a billion of death. For every billion borrowed, there is a billion added to our children's death, and for every so-called benefit, there are 5 deeper problems waiting at the end of the tunnel. It's not the end of the tunnel. A project that destroys more than it delivers is not a progress. It's a problem that is disguised as a progress. And the evidences are all around us. Look at the Abuja-Lokoja road. Billions spent, decades gone, and nothing to show for it. Look at the Ajakuta steel, trillions sunk, and still nothing to show for it. And here is the paradox: the people cheering this project the loudest are not the ones who will pay the price. The displaced fisherman from Akwa Ibom, he pays. The market woman from Cross River, she pays. The young graduate who is jobless because trillions went into sand filling the ocean instead of building industries, he pays. The ordinary Nigerians will pay the price while the elite enjoys the benefits. So we ask you, a project that benefits the few but brings problems to the many, is that benefit? Now, this is the point where the judges and audience must look beyond the shine, because the road can shine, the PowerPoints can shine, the speeches can shine, but the harsh sun of reality. But when this harsh sun of reality comes, this shine will fade and the scars will remain. And the scar this project will leave on Nigeria will not be measured in kilometers of asphalt. It will be measured in destroyed homes, in rising inflations, in unpayable debts, in collapsing coastlines, and in communities pressured into poverty. Tonight we are not just weighing a highway, we are weighing Nigeria's future, and the scale is imbalanced. Here on this side there are promises. Thank you.
Please always finish. Just finish, okay? Always finish.
Always land. Because you can't leave it hanging.
Well done, Esther Joseph. Well done, Akinloluwa Olajolo. Brilliant closings, brilliant arguments. What a storm of arguments we have just witnessed.
Maybe we should do I Beg to Differ 2.0 for adults.
Yeah, good luck.
Yvonne will be the judge. You and I will go first.
Yeah.
You'd probably win me, but I mean, it's worth the try.
I don't know. You like to argue a lot. I don't have energy.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. I was just like, you know what? You know what?
You win. You're right, Maryann.
Maybe you have a point.
And you lose.
Well, on one side, Akinloluwa painted the Lagos-Calabar coastal highway as a lifeline. A project that will spur commerce, unlock tourism, and transform transportation across Nigeria's southern corridor. For him, it is the artery through which opportunity and prosperity will flow, creating jobs and binding communities together. Standing firmly with him, Esther added her voice with clarity and conviction, pointing to the long-term benefits of integration, ease of mobility, and regional development. She urged us to see beyond today's concerns to the brighter horizon of tomorrow that such a project could deliver, or the problems it could cause, the debts that may mount. Both debaters fought not against each other, but side by side in pursuit of a shared vision, one that the people may yet benefit from. Yet in the quarterfinals, only one voice can advance. The judges must now weigh whose delivery, whose logic, whose fire burned brightest under the spotlight. The verdict awaits, and with it, the destiny of one debater moves closer to the crown, while the other's journey ends tonight. While we wait with bated breath We'll listen to diction coach and judge Yvonne Ohaifo for her take.
Thank you, Femi. Well done, Esther and Akinloluwa. I'll start with you, Akinloluwa. It is Deutsche Bank, not Dusche. Deutsche, okay? Deutsche Bank. It's a German word, so you say Deutsche, not Dusche. It is also debt, not debt. The B in debt is silent, so you say debt, not debt. You also, biodiversity is an uncountable noun, so you don't say when there is a biodiversity, okay? When there's biodiversity, not when there is a biodiversity. Benefits in infrastructural economy is not immediate. The benefits in infrastructural economy are not immediate, is not immediate, okay? And to you, Esther Joseph, debt and death are two different words. Death is to die, debt is to owe. The B in debt is silent, so death means to die, debt means to owe, okay? It's something owed. You don't say a progress is uncountable, okay? So you say when there's progress, not a progress. You also say imbalance, not imbalance. Imbalance, okay? Imbalance. You also say looks beautiful on paper, not on a paper. On paper, it looks beautiful, not on a paper, okay? You say, please pay attention to the subject-verb agreement rule because I, spotted quite a number of errors. For example, when these projects are not fulfilled, how will it connect? When these projects are not fulfilled, how will they? Okay, how will they connect? Also, jobs that ends is only temporary illusions. Jobs that end are, okay? That's just an instance. You also say competitiveness, not competitiveness. Competitiveness. And when using figures or numbers as adjectives, you drop the S. So instead of saying Nigeria's $15 billion project, you should have said Nigeria's $15 billion project, because you're using that stretch of words as an adjective, not individually, okay? So you should have said Nigeria, and it applies to years as well. The 15-year-old boy, not 15 years old boy, okay? 15-year-old boy. I'll stop here. Over to you, lady and gentlemen.
Thank you, Yvonne. Okay. I started something.
Interesting, and we'll come to that later. So this evening, Esther emerged as a force of conviction, balancing logic and with passion, and strengthening the argument for the highway with a human touch, but without the burdens that may yet come. Her eloquence may have tipped the scales in a battle where both debaters fight for the same future. And we saw them fight. And if the judges saw in her voice the sharper resonance of persuasion, then it is Esther who will march into the semi-finals. However, also tonight, Akinloluwa stood tall, weaving facts with fire, grounding his case in the concrete promises of commerce, jobs, and national integration. His clarity of vision and composure in delivery may well give him the edge in this clash of shared and opposing conviction. But in a contest where both debaters had different views of how to go, the judges must then ask whose voice carried a greater weight of persuasion. If the tide has shifted, it may well be Akinloluwa who sails into the semi-finals. But only the judges can tell. So into their scorecard we now go. For this semi-final clash, Listen to the judge's verdict. For the presentation round, Judge Ikechi scores it a tie. 10 to Ikechi. 10 to Akin, 10 to Esther. Judge Majid scores it a tie. So do judges Ufoma and Chike. Everybody has it at 10-10, a tie. Into the second round we go. Judge Ikechi scores it. Akin 10, Esther 9. Judge Majid has it as Akin 10, Esther 9. Judge Ufoma has it as Akin 10, Esther 9.5. And Chief Judge Chike has it as Akin 10, Esther 9.5. It's 40 to 37. Esther trails by 3. Into the closing round. Judges Ufoma and Chike recorded as a tie. 10-10 between the two of them. But judges Ikechi and Majid recorded as 10 to 9.5 each. Diction Judge Yvonne Haifo has her scoring as 10 to 8.5 in favor of Akin for your winner. By unanimous decision. Congratulations, Akinloluwa, Olajolo. Well done, Akin. Into the semi-final, you now zoom. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Congratulations.
I hope you're proud.
I am.
Lovely.
You think you gave it your all today?
Some sort.
Did you think you were jerky initially?
The presentation round, yes.
Yes, certainly. Certainly. But you rose to the occasion as it went. So well done.
Thank you.
Esther, well done. Well done. You can
You
take
did
pride
well.
in your performance all through this tournament up until this point. You have held your head high. You have done so well. There were nerves, especially in the beginning. And okay, some of the nerves reoccurred again as you went through, even in the closing round. But the central idea you were building was unmistakable and was not lost on the
Yes.
audience.
Yes, of course.
Any other day, it would have been good enough.
Yeah. And I must say that you have made all the girls proud, because it looks like the boys are literally putting up a fight this time around, but you have done so well. Don't stop. I mean, Femi hasn't stopped. He's still debating with me every other day. So don't
Abi.
stop.
Yes.
Well done. Well done.
Well done. So, you are, esteemed audience, what a magnificent quarterfinal clash we've just witnessed. In a debate where both contenders fought for the same vision. It was Akinloluwa who edged ahead. His voice carrying just a little stronger. His arguments cutting just a little sharper. 130 to 124.5 points. It ended. He claims victory tonight and marches boldly into the semi-finals. Yet what a journey it has also been for Esther. She stood her ground with poise, intellect and courage, proving she belongs amongst the very best. To come this far into the elite 8 of this competition, that's no small feat. And though her path ends here, her brilliance will not be forgotten. And so the stage resets for tomorrow's battles. At 3 p.m., the postponed quarterfinal will finally hold. Nigeria's lawmakers are overpaid for the work they do. You do not want to miss that debate. It's one bound to spark fire as one contender returns from illness, determined to fight, and another looks to seize the moment. But that will not be all. 2 other debates will happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
It will be fire for fire tomorrow. So as we congratulate Akinloluwa and pay our tribute and respect to Esther, we'll remind you, it's 3 p.m. tomorrow. If you blink, you'll miss. Special thanks to all our sponsors. Special thanks to the team.
Yes.
Everybody working to make us thick. And so we'll do it again. The news at 6 will begin shortly. First up, though, a quick message.
In the cooking game, you need a winning game plan. I'm not just talking about your fresh ingredients, utensils, or cooking skills. I'm talking about your choice of seasoning. My game plan is incomplete without Maggi chicken flavor. Made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric, it's my game changer. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious, rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
Books, uniform, school fees. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates